December the 10th, 2025. The night Britain's blue line finally snapped. Across London, Manchester and Birmingham, exhausted officers simply walked out. No strike, just surrender. Radios fell silent. Patrol cars sat empty. For the first time, major cities were left unguarded. This wasn't about pay. It was the breaking point after years of neglect, underfunding, and impossible demands. The government's indifference was the final straw. Chaos followed. Gangs roamed freely, communities clashed, and the promise of order vanished overnight. The social contract, our faith that help will come, was shattered. Empty police stations and unanswered sirens sent a chilling message. The guardians were gone, and the wolves were at the door. The nation held its breath, bracing for what the dawn would bring. The thin blue line had snapped, and Britain was on its own. To understand the walkouts, listen to those who served. Sergeant Miller, a 20-year veteran, described relentless trauma, assaults, endless shifts, and a system that broke him. "I joined to protect people," he said, "but I can't even protect my own sanity." A young London constable quit after 2 years, sent alone to violent calls, facing mobs with no backup. "Every call felt like a gamble with my life." These stories aren't rare. They're the norm for a generation sacrificed by austerity. Officers left not to make a statement, but to survive. Burnout, stress, and abandonment by leaders drove them out. The government's response: empty promises and failed recruitment drives. Warnings about mental health and staffing were ignored. The walkouts weren't betrayal. They were the result of a system that demanded everything and gave nothing. The first victims of Britain's broken state were those sworn to protect it. With police gone, fear ruled Britain's streets. Tensions between communities exploded into violence. Gangs clashed openly, turning neighbourhoods into battlegrounds. Families locked their doors, hoping chaos wouldn't reach them. Ordinary people formed vigilante patrols, desperate for order, but often making things worse. Mistaken identity and street justice became common. Businesses shuttered early. City centres became ghost towns. Trust evaporated, replaced by suspicion and fear. The government's failure felt like betrayal. People were left to fend for themselves. The rise of vigilantism showed a nation losing faith in its institutions. Britain was no longer a safe place to call home. In crisis, the nation looked to its leaders and found only blame and denial. The Prime Minister condemned the walkouts, ignoring years of neglect. Parliament descended into finger-pointing, offering no real solutions. The government's answer? A rushed online intelligence unit to monitor unrest. Too little, too late. Technology couldn't fix a crisis of trust and despair. Debates over surveillance only deepened public suspicion. With no unified strategy, local councils scrambled, some negotiating with vigilantes, others declaring emergencies. The message from Westminster was clear: you're on your own. Leadership failed, pouring fuel on a nation already burning. The absence of real action left Britain adrift in chaos. As calm returns, no one is fooled. The damage is deep. Police are back, but trust is shattered and fear lingers. Britain stands at the brink, forced to confront hard truths. Restoring order means more than more officers. It demands a national reckoning. We must decide what kind of society we want, one that values its protectors and invests in prevention. Leadership must rebuild trust, support the police, and heal divisions. The public must reject vigilantism and demand better from leaders and themselves. The night the blue line snapped was a warning. A future we must avoid. We can rebuild, but only if we act now. The choice is ours. The clock is ticking.